Hi everyone, welcome to Cook Stacy Cook. Today we are making beef and onion over crispy pan-fried noodle. I'm sure most of you are familiar with chow mein, which is stir-fried noodle, but fewer have tried pan-fried noodle. The noodle in a pan-fried noodle dish is crispy on the outer layer and it catches the delicious sauce that drips down from the topping. When you try the dish we are making today, you will taste the tender and delicious beef and the flavorful noodle with a touch of crispiness. It's really an amazing combination of flavor and texture. Now let me show you how to make it. We will start by finely mincing 2 cloves of garlic and cut half of an onion into strips. Take the time to separate the layers of onions now so they are easier to stir fry later. Then we will need 2 green onions. Split the stem part of the green onion first and cut them into 2-inch sections. Keep the stem part and the leafy part separate because we will use them at different times during cooking. We will also need some bean sprouts. Now the beef. You can use basically any loin or flank cut of beef. Cut the beef into slices. Make sure you cut across the direction of the muscle fiber, so they will be more tender. Marinate the beef with soy sauce, dark soy sauce, a little bit of rice wine, a little bit of sugar, some cornstarch, and a little bit of baking soda. Thoroughly mix the marinade and the beef together, and then mixing a touch of sesame oil. For the noodle, we are using regular egg noodle that you can easily find in most grocery stores. Both freshly made loose noodle or dry egg noodle will work. The last thing we need to prepare is the cornstarch and water mixture. Simply mix cornstarch and cold water together and stir until there is no more clumps in the mixture. Now we are ready to cook. We will start by briefly cooking the noodle in a pot of boiling water. For fresh loose noodle like I am using today, simply cook the noodle for 3 minutes. For dry egg noodle, gently stir the noodle in the water to help loosen it. Once the noodle is completely loose, cook it for 1 more minute and we can remove it from the pot. Now add some oil to a hot pan over medium heat and we will pan fry the noodle. Spread the noodle out in the pan and let it pan fry for about 1 minute. Then toss the noodle a bit and let it pan fry for another minute. Add a little oil around the edge of the pan if needed. We are not trying to make the noodle crispy in this step. We are making some of the noodle firmer so that it creates a transition between the soft boiled noodle and the crispy noodle we will create in the next step. After repeating the tossing and pan frying 2 to 3 times, we will work on getting the outer layer crispy. Spread the noodle out so they are even in thickness. And make sure the size of the noodle is a bit smaller than your plate. Add a little more oil around the edge of the pan and let the noodle pan fry until the bottom is golden. Do not toss the noodle so it will maintain this shape. When one side is golden, flip the noodle over to pan fry the other side. Once both sides of the noodle are golden like this, we can remove it from the pan. Next, we will stir fry the onion and bean sprouts. Add some oil to the pan and add a little bit of salt and sugar to the oil. Then immediately add the onion, green onion, and the bean sprouts to the pan. Briefly stir fry them to get rid of the raw taste of the onion and the bean sprout. As soon as you think they are about done, Add a touch of rice wine and give them a few more toss and we can remove them from the pan. You don't want to overcook them. If you cannot use wine in your cooking, simply skip all the wine in this recipe. Now the last step, stir frying the beef. Add a little bit of oil to the pan if needed. Then add the beef. Spread the beef out and let them pan fry until the bottom is golden. Then add the minced garlic and stir fry the beef until it's 80% done. Now season the beef with some soy sauce, dark soy sauce, a little bit of sugar, and some unsalted chicken broth or water. Gently stir the pan to mix everything evenly and let the liquid come to a boil. When the liquid starts to boil, we can add the cornstarch and water mixture. Remember to stir up the cornstarch mixture because the cornstarch tends to settle on the bottom. After you pour the mixture, quickly stir the pan so that it's evenly mixed with the sauce. Once the sauce thickens up like this, we can add the onion, green onion, and the bean sprouts back to the pan. Also add the leafy part of the green onion and a touch of white pepper powder at this time. Quickly mix everything together, and we can pour this delicious topping over the pan-fried noodle. Make sure you pour all the sauces on top too. Look at this delicious plate of beef and noodle. The beef is tender, juicy, and full of flavor. The noodle is perfect with the right balance of soft and crispiness. When you taste this dish, you will feel the symphony of delicious flavors and contrasting texture come together in your mouth. I really hope you will give this pan-fried noodle dish a try. If you find today's video useful, please share it with your friends and family. Let me know your thoughts about this recipe in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you next time.